Hey there, everybody. Yeah, not sure exactly how many people to expect today, or if any. I did change the time, and that's on me. But still, we're going to be working on some superhero life stuff. The let's see. I think honestly, the thing I want to do first is I want to do early map. Woo! Hey there, Ryan. Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, yeah, feel free to treat this like a voice call because I don't know how many other people are in the chat today. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with how this looks. Like, okay, you want Ryan? Watch this stuff. I'm very proud of it. Okay, so right, do you remember how I made that UI color engine? Or like I ported it from Google? I hooked it up to the procedural map generation stuff so that using the color of the walls, I could actually get a general color palette. And then, so what I did was I took these things and added some cool logic. So right here, for instance, say I wanted to, okay, so when something is under a folder, it will choose between one of them. And determining what choice that is, it has basically a spawn chance, which it goes through each of them, and then the first time one of them spawns, it deletes all the other ones, and so it keeps that one. Then, using the tags, see the tags right here? It says primary, secondary, tertiary. It will use one of these color tags to actually use that color engine to color it in. And all of these things are shaped based, and all of these are organized based on a specific type of like block that I put in. And so from here, you can see it in action, where you can see like it recolored the awnings in a way to match that matches kind of well with this. It also it'll leave the doors open and some of them closed. Um, I really like it. The only area which I kind of don't like right now is the fact that you'll have like these kind of things where you'll have like one color here, but then the separate one because it's a different block, it'll be right there. And I think the solution is probably just to not have blocks right next to each other. Like if we're going to have a block this shape, make it like a little bit more, big. But also I could just because like there's not necessarily a way to key up that stuff. But still, the I'm very happy with how it's going so far, and yeah, I think it led to a pretty like it just makes stuff go so easy. Like okay, look at how this did not take long to make. This is just a block essentially. But but now it goes from a block to something that looks good enough. Like it's not amazing by any means, but it looks pretty good. And also because all of this stuff is now added via coding um, I can do level of detail stuff. Like let's say I didn't want to have an interior, I just wanted to make a transparent version of these. That's way easier. And then at a super long distance, I could just do something like instead of replacing it, I could just recolor it like this. Like and then as it comes close, then you load it in. So I want to do as much as I can with this kind of technique, and I think it's looking pretty good right now. Woo. Yeah, so yeah, I'm excited. I think that my sweet spot is, creating something visually cool with code. Because I think that's like I feel like I'm always going to be a technical artist at heart. Because I doing this is so much more fulfilling than just making these interiors 100 times. But yeah, I think next I'm going to make it so I'm going to do I'm going to use the position I'm going to use the position of the thing to have it generate a deterministic seed. That way, well, yeah, no, the thing is like it's funny because like that's essentially how it started. Like I started doing that exact same thing, but then the problem between you and me is that I don't have enough patience. To me, making 15 versions of a storefront is a lot more suffering than coding in a little bit extra functionality. Like in terms of the code itself, It's actually not like okay. Here's the entire script for handling things. So like you can see like it's not too much. Like it's just this entire function build facade. This is the entirety of the generation logic. And what is that? It's like 100 lines of code. And so to me, that 100 lines of code is just way easier than like making those variations. So if I was a more talented artist, with that same kind of drive that you had, though, I'm sure that that your way would have been more efficient. But yeah, I'm mostly just yeah. So I'm gonna just start doing the decorations with this kind of system. I think I just I'm gonna refactor it a little bit to make it a little bit more modular, and then I'm gonna see how much of the city I can just decorate using this, like street lamps, whatever. Um, yeah, well, I guess yeah, that's a good point. Your way is definitely faster for the one done, but yeah, the and then mine would be for more like and like yeah, it's technical debt. Because honestly, that's kind of why I have to make this game at all because I used to be really bad of technical debt, and so now I've kind of overcorrected. Yeah, the yeah, they'll actually wait. Ryan, do you want to see a cool plugin I found? I think it's this one. Is it? Trying to just making sure. There are so many plugins. I cannot wait until we can organize these. Okay, so Magic Wand. Okay, so Magic Wand and Instance Matcher, I think, are very similar versions of the same thing. All right, so check this out. So let's say that I wanted to select, let's see, match type and let's see. So I guess what is this? So yeah, so it literally selects all. You can just select a specific, like you can select, like you just select the properties. Like okay, I want all of these things. Also, it should be like also it should have this, like this parent name, this specific parent, and like so like you can actually have like actual you can construct literal queries with and or to get a specific type of instance. And then alternatively, the magic wand one is just literally like just grab the touching parts, like just select that entire peer. So yeah, these two tools are very handy for going back and adding like formatting and stuff. But yeah, yeah. No, I really like them. The oh, Grizz, sorry if this question has been already asked, but perhaps could you add the suit glitch as an intended feature for the remaster? Not sure if it would complement. So yeah, the remaster, I will be loosening up the constraints on the customization. People will be able to do their own. Will be the suit glitch will basically become a feature. So it will not be something that you have to do. You don't have to go out of your way to do it. So I think that'll look pretty good. Let's see. Oh, Ryan, do you want to see the stupid way that I did the warehouses? Basically, the I made them originally, but then I didn't. I realized I didn't go back long enough, and so instead of just stretching them, I just duplicated them and moved them back. I should fix that at some point, but to this day, you sure, man? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, you complimented me too early, man. Will the game passes that I bought be transferred? Yes. If the majority of the game passes are expected to transfer over, if any of them do get removed, you will be compensated very generously with in-game currency. Because I want here's how I'm approaching. Whenever I remove a game pass, I want everyone who bought that game pass to think. Um, everyone who bought that Game Pass to feel like they got lucky. You know, like, oh wow, I just got this huge amount of in-game currency, where it should have felt like you like bought Bitcoin when the price was low or something. Like like y- that's the dream. I want people to be like, oh, I wish I'd bought that Game Pass before it got removed and converted into currency. But yeah, beyond that though, yeah, we're gonna navigate all of that. Let's see. I believe that's pretty much it though. So we're gonna, I guess, Ryan, what part of the map should we do next? The people last time were talking about the prison, which I think that that one could be fun. We also have the apartments, the bank, the hospital, the town hall, the and a construction site. Also, I'm just gonna rerun these things. Okay, bang. All right, we're multi here. Oh yeah, no, yeah, Grizz, I completely agree. Yeah, the in fact though, we have a lot of logos. Ryan, have you seen the logos that we got? It's actually quite fun. So look at that. Look at all these icons. I'm gonna allow people to combine them to make logos. Yeah, like these like icons. Yeah, though it's these are all just part of I think a Cinti Studio pack for like $10. So I do recommend buying it. It's definitely worth it. The yeah, so I think they look really good for like that amount of spending. Like they're just so affordable, man. Yeah, so expect to see people be like, I'm pants man. I Yeah, I mean, arguably though, I'm telling you, 90% of the people will just have this one. You know, I'll be like, I'm Iceman, Lightning Man, Wind Man, Fireman. Like, like these will be the cool ones. Then you'll have the rest of them will be like ironic, you know? Yeah, no, I promise you. Like, I swear, this is something I've learned with coding, but also starting to learn a lot with art. Actually, okay, also this one will be pretty good because this one's just symbols, you know? It's like there's like the math symbols. You have like some peace, like you have like the Buddhism thing, the yin yang. You have the like toxic, like okay, these we're gonna have so many characters with these. Um, yeah, stonks man, yeah, but nuclear man. Yeah, the I think yeah, I probably won't add all of them. I don't know if I want to know what eggplant man what that's about. Um, but for the most part, yeah, I think we're gonna have some really cool things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, radioactive man. But yeah, so these are pretty good. Yeah, but I guess back to focusing on stuff. Yeah, so you said bank, and Chill has asked, will multi-hair be a Game Pass? Um, let's see. I maybe. I the thing is, I don't like removing game passes, but multi-hair, admittedly, has seemed a bit. I don't think it's aged very well. I feel like with multiple powers or like extra save slots, I think that a lot of people kind of viewed that as like, ah, yeah, it makes sense. Though I am starting to wonder if maybe I should have extra save spots be like a dev product that you purchase like per save slot, you know? So if someone needs just one extra slot, they don't have to buy the whole thing. But yeah, we'll see. I'm doing some really cool data encoding things. So ideally, we'll have a yeah, well, so the dream is that we'll actually have a very what's it called? We'll be able to store literally hundreds, if not thousands, of suits. Like I really think I'm going to get converted because 4 MB. Like I think I can probably store a character, like a single like configuration thing, like in maybe like 300 bytes, 400 bytes if I'm very good at it. And with that, I think that we can possibly get some really good savings coverage. Um, yeah, the I think let's see. Please add bread to everyone's apartments. Okay, I'm not opposed to adding bread, though I think customization would probably be more ideal. The let's see. I don't understand how the stream concurrent things because it'll be like you have 10 people right now, but then it'll be like you have two in like the actual analytics area. So and then I see three people talking in the chat. Will you be able to place your Roblox avatar? No, not exactly. I'm going to try to make it so that it will allow you to, it'll try to guess a character based on what your avatar looks like. Like, give, easy things like your skin color, um, but, and like hairstyle and stuff. But for the most part, my goal is not to recreate your avatar. It's a character creation game. And for that, I'm going to want to break away and also restrict things. I think that a lot of Roblox avatars have different art styles, and as a result, they don't really look that good next to each other. Um, but yeah, let's see. Okay, so we are going to. Okay, so we're going to move some of this code over. All right, so get building texture, um, private functions. So get. Actually, let's just copy the entire thing. It'll be easier to sort of undo it than it will be to yeah, so what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the code I wrote last time and translating it. The let's see, is that I need to save people's avatars? I mean, you don't need to. It's just very recommended. You know, like it. For what it's worth, man. If you ask, check my GitHub for something called compression util. It can make storing people's data pretty easy. Um, well, okay. It doesn't make it easier. The easiest way is to just do like JSON encode and store it as a string. However, what I have made makes it easy to do it efficiently. It just sort of it allows you to encode data types into like literally the bit minimum they could be. Um, but yeah, so as a result, maybe there's a way you can implement styles like hand drawn or comic book style. It's possible to make it less, I don't know, close to nothing but about data store stuff about, to be honest. That's something I'll be, okay, yeah, no, honestly, the data store isn't too tough. Um, it's, I think that the main thing about the data store is like, I feel like the any person can make the data store work 98% of the time. It's that final 2% is where like the you need a little bit of finesse. Um, so yeah, like so in terms of styles grids, I'm not necessarily opposed to that. I am you can do color correction things most likely. Like they make the entire game black and white or a bit more high contrast, but for the most part, the actual Roblox makes it pretty hard to implement shaders, which you would need for those kind of styles. Not impossible if you build it from the ground up, but they're just very hard to implement afterwards. Um, Mind reading would be fun. You know what I would love to do? Okay, y'all, okay, so this is what I would love to do for X-ray. I would love if I could turn on wireframe rendering for X-ray. Wouldn't that be cool? Just like you turn on X-ray mode and now you can just see through everything. Like that'd be very cool. Yeah, but unfortunately this is a studio only feature. But still, I think it looks good. It's funny though, because it'll show you hidden things on the map. Like, for example, this tower goes really deep into the ground. Um, yeah, but anyway. So funnily enough, wireframe rendering is actually much more efficient than not. Because if you think about it as rendering as like a coloring in a surface, you actually have to do a lot fewer math operations for wireframe. That's why some of the earliest game engines were like Tron, like not like game engines or like rendering was like Tron. It's like lines because rendering lines is a lot easier than rendering surfaces. Um, so yeah, I think that for the most part, actually wireframe rendering would be a performance boost. It's funny like that. Um, though I guess it's so complicated because there's also like GPUs will allow like batch sections. Like, see this thing right here? Notice how it's like full green? Like, it doesn't check every pixel. It's like, okay, is this green? Is this? It can like there are like methods that it does to like it's like okay, all this is green. Just assume green. Don't like check for all. It's like there are optimizations, but like at a very pure basic level. Yeah. Yeah. So well, that's the thing actually, Ryan. Roblox doesn't do calling. Roblox doesn't call. That's actually one of the big things that people are asking for, like, so that they have that kind of functionality. It doesn't actually hide things when they're obscured or behind you. Like it continues to exist. Like that's why that's why that one guy's Roblox performance utility library is so valuable because it actually does remove things when they're behind you. Yeah, so you're correct in the sense that wireframe might not be the best for general graphics and game stuff. But when you have just like when you don't have that kind of optimization in, it actually would be more performant most likely. Actually, let's just do a draw call. We'll just do a render call. Okay, so let's put this. I really hope I'm right, otherwise this will be embarrassing. So I can say it looks like the CPU and GPU both like it less when it's wireframe, but it's the same amount of. But I don't know if that's actually changing it because the delta seems to be about the same for each of them. But based on the GPU and CPU taking longer, I would say that probably, I guess, wireframe rendering is a little bit slower. We have really gotten off task, have we? I wonder why it's slower if they aren't culling. Maybe they're doing like some very basic form of culling. Or maybe it's that kind of batching thing I was talking about, where like it just assumes one color for this entire thing. Oh well. All right. All right. Please. All right. it takes 6 faces to draw a cube, but 12 surface culling. Gotcha. Okay, no, that makes sense. No, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so I take back everything I said. Wireframe culling, when done en masse to include the back ends of it, is slower. But I do stand by. Older rendering was done with vector lines, because that is faster. But doesn't really help us here. Pizza, welcome, Yamas. Let's see but yeah, I guess while we're doing this, let's okay, I'm gonna pop this out. Okay, so we have to be a bit more creative because okay, so we're gonna have it make it return a function where that'll be the cleanup function essentially. All right, so we're gonna call this render. All right, pizza 3, pizza. Why are we talking about pizza? Don't just flex on me because Brazil doesn't have good pizza. Yeah, I've never seen the thing which I have trouble finding here. The pizza, like it'll have good ingredients. Like Brazilian food is generally quite good, but pizza, they just get too fancy with it. They'll like, but then somehow they'll forget sauce. They like you'll have like pizza and they'll throw like a full tomato on it rather than like a full like tomato slice rather than pizza sauce. Like it's rough. And they'll put like the tomato sauce on top. It tastes like California pizza. Does that make sense? Let's see. All right, so we have source lists. Okay, so okay, so I'm going to actually make this a private variable. Yeah, so we're doing some fun. I shouldn't have made this a utility. I need to make this a service. All right. Also, we should put it in the client. Okay. Yeah, so now what we're doing here is we are making a very basic, we're taking the code we wrote and then disassembling it to make it, because the code works, and that's the hardest part, of course. I'm trying to remember where I put constants usually. Okay, and now that we know that it works, we'll want to, okay, so source lists. Now that we know it works, we want to make it in a way which it scales correctly. It's not exactly, it's optimization from a production standpoint. This isn't necessarily going to make the code faster. This is going to make the coder faster to implement. Like, it's just sort of cleaning up a bunch of assumptions we made originally and making them a bit more modular and flexible. Uh, for example, the original assumption was that this would only be used for the for like this one little pier. And now at this point, we want to go. So Chicago style pizza, I like it. I do like Chicago style pizza. It does feel more like lasagna to me, if that makes any sense. Like just like in my head, my brain equates it more as like a separate dish entirely, but I do really like it. Um, let's see, the maybe that's the secret to enjoying Brazilian pizza too. Just stop thinking of it as pizza. The okay, so source folder. Okay, here we go. Init source folder. Kind of, yeah. This is more, yeah, it's all right, see you, Ryan. It's kind of like a it you know how do you ever like leave your keys by the door or something, or like your backpack by the door? Because you know that when you leave the door, you're always going to need that thing. It's kind of like doing that with code. It's putting things near where you'll need them so that you don't have to go to a bunch of different places or re-implement functionality. So that's what I usually mean when I say refactoring. It's just taking the logic we wrote and then just sort of breaking it up into pieces that can be accessed where they're needed. Yeah, misbehave. Um, let's see. Okay, so source lists. Okay, so source list. Okay, also I need to import the made package. Package made. Type made equals made.made. All right. Oh, so we need to import another package. Import package service proxy. Well, in fairness, I do say Yomas half the time, so I'm not sure I'm necessarily perfect at this. Okay, so yeah, I failed you, Mastermind. I failed you. So init source folder. Um, all right, so now, okay, we're getting some progress, I think. All right, we are. Okay, so I'm just re-implementing all of this code. You know, yeah, the Here's a, hey, honestly, you probably know HTML better than I do. I'm not very well versed in HTML. I know a little bit of JavaScript, but for the most part, languages that aren't like, some I'm familiar with languages that are like Python, languages that are like C, and languages, well, C sharp. So I know C is very different. I shouldn't claim to know C. I don't. C sharp is different. Um, the what's it called? And then of course Lua. And so because I know Lua, I kind of know JavaScript, you know. But for the most part, that's pretty much it. Um, okay, so I think this is looking right. Init source. Okay, so RNG. All right, so we're going to make a new function called function appgen service render mount base part. Okay, so what we're going to do here is then we're going to add it to the initial type we wrote. Because this will, so the reason I write out the types at the top is because that way I'm being very aware of how I've structured things. And like, because the problem is but when it tries to guess the type, if you make a mistake and say assign a number to a type which is just non-existent, it'll say, oh, they're obviously defining this new type, this new property, instead of saying no, that property doesn't exist. And so I make enough mistakes to warrant, wanting to write out what I'm supposed to do in one spot, and then they have to sync up, kind of like when you have to put in your password twice. And so I like that. Okay, so build facade. Okay, so how about local made equals made.new self made cast made. Okay, so we're just gonna destroy. I was made to destroy. Um, okay, so okay, so the all right, so actually let's wrap this entire thing in a so if has tag, then return false. Return true. Return false. Okay, so I'm if render, then break. Okay, so self dot source lists. Okay, so all this is getting assembled in there. Source lists, source lists. Okay. I think this is going all right. Okay, we've almost gotten rid of all the red little squiggly lines, which is really the goal. Um, okay, so get building texture. Okay, so now we've gotten it mostly compiling, to my understanding. Um, so let's actually go back to the replace story. We're going to now remove the code that we wrote. And instead, see how simply we can okay, so build facade, collection service mount tag, get. Okay, so now let's remove all of this. Just get rid of every bit of it. And now I'm going to update the source map. Let's import the, so import client. Come on, come on. Import, there we go. All right, so map gen service. I'm gonna rename that at some point. It doesn't sound right, you know? But first let's map init made. So now render v. All right. So I believe this, if I'm correct. Oh wait, no, but I have to actually catch everything that's rendered. Otherwise it makes a memory leak. All right. So let's try this again. If I have done my work correctly, um, this should allow me to replace all of these without any errors. Mistakes were made. Okay, so now we have to figure out what we did wrong. Okay, so spawn chance. Okay. Texture data, primary part, blah, 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 blah. Um, what was it? Oh, if I need to make this false, or if I want to be stupid about it, which I do. If not, okay. All right, so this is better. However, I think I might have messed up the warning. Okay, so now this warns no matter what. Else, okay, so now instead of breaking here, we're going to return the destroy function. Um, which arguably we can just call and then immediately, and then just return an empty function because, nothing was found. So why keep the memory? So now let's try this again. And successful refactor. We have moved all the logic that we wrote before into something that we can call externally. And now that we have this done, I think we should organize it a little bit more. We should because now we have all these like different stacked logic areas, and so let's just sort of break that up. So function, let's see, select from option folder instance. Okay, so how about just make a general function called like process part or something, local function process. Okay, like process part, process instance, child. So now let's take this and move it here. Okay, so let's actually move that as a local function of this part. And then for here, but this is, I'm starting to think that this isn't the right way to do this. Because okay, so it wants a for loop. I want to move this back to a data problem to an extent, but honestly, this is fine for now. Let's render, so trying to think what else I could do. Okay, well, let's do some renaming to make things a little bit more, what's it called? Less building specific. Not prop, what should we call it? Like, what we're looking for a word that would describe sort of just little details, but like the built version of them, you know? Like, not regions or areas or like just like a thing. Like it's a thing, actors, object. It's like a word for object, but that's like but like for like an area. Some event, boat, anchor, mount, map. Okay, I'm just gonna call it map object. I'm gonna hate myself, but what you're gonna do. All right, so facade. So we're gonna okay, so we're gonna rename it to okay. So let's see, map object, map object mount, map object source folder, map object Okay, we're gonna make a new. I wish we could put groups in groups. That'd be pretty helpful. But fine, I will have to modify that. Um, okay, so single facade mount thing. Okay. Okay, so how about let's go. Okay, so mount corner facade. Okay, so mount facade corner, mount facade corner, mount facade single, mount facade single, mount facade window, mount. Okay, so now, so map object source folder, mount facade double. Okay. All right, nice. So now we just have to rename these. Okay, so this one was double facade mount, mount facade double, mount facade corner, mount facade single, mount facade single window. Um, I think, okay, so now that we have that, let's do tag to Lua. And then that should cause an error all over here because map object, because we've changed all the tag structures. Shouldn't cause too many issues. Map obj source folder tag. Okay, so let's just replace all those. Yay! All right, so I think, okay, so now this should work with the new naming, I think. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Why is he yelling at me? Map facade source folder. Attempt to index nil with facade source folder. What? Am I referencing it by name? Also, let's get this object facade map object. Okay, so facade map object. Um, hmm. Let's see. So we have. Why is it yelling at me? I'm just a little guy. Oh, did I not save? Is that why? Yeah, no, that was why. Remember to save your work, y'all. Okay, so that's looking all right. That's looking pretty good. Um, okay, so refactored facade to map. Oh wait, but let's actually before we do that, let's actually change it to map object. Okay, so flip, recolor, replace, transpose, check direction. Okay. Looks like we might have just crashed Rojo. Let's see. All right. Actually, let's see. I'm gonna pause for a moment. A second. I'm a little bit hungry. I'll be back in 10 minutes. Sound good? So let me pop that up. Back at how do I actually edit the text? There we go. So what time is it now? So right now it is 5 p.m. EST. So how about 5:15 p.m. EST? And I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, thank you all very much. See you in a bit. Hey there, everybody. Oh, seems like my camera crashed. I promise I'm not invisible. Hey, teleported in. Superpowers confirmed. All right. Let's see. Thank y'all for waiting. I know this hasn't been the most riveting content. Um, let's see. Yeah, but no. My stomach was just killing me. So let's see. Do. I need to hide this text. Okay. Now back to work. Let's see. Also looks like we had DM. Uh, okay, can y'all see my screen? Perfect. Okay, so just move all that there. So we got all that working, and yeah, we're just starting to go through and get all of this stuff. Okay, let's make the deterministic. Let's make the RNG deterministic on the part. So how about trying to think what the best thing would be. Chat's pretty quiet today, but I appreciate the. Also, if you just want to view, you don't have to chat. Uh, I I'm just I'm surprised. The let's see. So pseudo random seed. How about let's just do it. We'll make a very basic like mount dot position times mount. So mount times mount uh, dot x plus mount dot orientation dot x plus mount dot size dot x. So we're gonna try to make this as deterministic as possible. Um, but not as possible. We're gonna take shortcuts. Don't worry. So yeah, so we have the RNG. Um, so this should, I believe, seed the RNG with the position and orientation of the um, where did this second? I think I messed up the row because it should have loaded in that. Am I going crazy? Why is it not loading this in? The heck? Okay, I'm now checking the Rojo source server storage. Not the game. Yes. Is it because I didn't run a source map? Well, so what version of Rojo is this? Does it need to be upgraded? What version of Rojo am I using? Rojo V. I typed that. So 7.4. Okay. Going crazy. Okay, let's just start by, let's just delete the server storage and see what happens. It's showing up there. Is it an issue with HorseCat? Might be an issue with HorseCat. Okay, so let's just, I'm going to save my work, close it, and reopen Studio. I really wish there was an easier way to just reboot a plugin, you know? That'd be nice. Because I mean, this is a plugin which I modified, so I can't like critique it too much. I might have been the one who broke it. But at the same time, I think just being able to have like a reboot button for that kind of stuff would just be handy. All right. So now cage mesh ID for right foot is empty when generate HSR. Huh. Wonder what that's about. There we go. Okay. So it's just something went wrong with don't know what that's about, but it looks like everything's back. Let us do a replace. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm actually going to do it a slightly boring way, and that is with process util. Package process util. Okay, so this is a utility I wrote that allows me to sort of do things in a queue. Run item process, initial A processor, blah, 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 run limit, get if dead is parallel. So list equals run. So processor, so function I number end run limit number of list get if dead. We'll have a boolean called is dead equals false and is dead equals true. And so run process is dead. So function return is dead and false. Function return false and oh wait, need a little parentheses there. And then why is it getting angry? Oh, I need to put oh the run limit should be the actual amount of time I want to run. Okay, so beautiful. If I is over number list, then okay, so item equals list I. All right, so the reason I wrote it like this is that this makes it a little bit easier to actually have it run. When All right, nice. So this will allow me to do it for as many as I want. So let's see. So replace. Okay. So then, um, so I is number of list. So you see how that worked? So it just loaded them all in over a few frames rather than just one. Why is it? I feel like I'm getting like a slowdown, you know? Okay, so processor. Okay, so processor is done. Okay, so is done. Okay, so okay, so that should look pretty good. Yeah, okay, so that looks pretty good. Yay! I think it's because I need to do run item process, initial I function. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. So yeah, so this, allows for so the next honestly, so the next game after the remix will be complete will probably be Superhero Life 4, admittedly. In terms of after that, I don't know. It's a toss up between Infrastruct, Night Ships, and Wasteland Engineer, and just, who knows? Maybe I'll think of another project I want to do more. It'd be nice to do just some small stuff, I think. Keep it in scope. I might even try, if they're successful enough, I might even try making something outside of Roblox. So we'll just have to see how all that goes. It's just nice to look at, you know? Let's see. So I'm going to save, so restore, save file. Okay, I'm trying to think what else I could possibly want to do with this. Um, the So now that we have this up, let's actually make some trees, you know? I think that that would be responsible. Let's move this. Let's check this stuff out. There's some cool lights. I like them. Trying to think what else I could. All right. When I see you asked. Hey there, everybody. I'm. Let's see. Sorry, I realize I just haven't been reading chat at all. Um, let's see. So when the remake comes out with a squaring rule, get reverted back? Probably not. I don't think there's any way to put that back in the box. And also, it just was a huge drain on moderation. I think, like, I don't think it was worthwhile for the server. Um, let's see. Thoughts on the Wiggles? Can we see the map looks like so far? Sure. If you're still here, I'm happy to give you a tour. But otherwise, apologies for missing you. Let's see what else. Let's let's replace this with just run map of run dot story. So we're now going to update this to hopefully. Okay, so okay, so this is looking all right. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's let's see. Let's also organize this into an actual like thing, you know? Okay, so we have, all right, so these are the facades. So let's just put these two next to each other. We're we're going to put all these on like about the same height level, you know? All right. Let's see. I think, oh, wow. Okay. So let's go about and like, let's do some basic stuff related to to actually creating the map. Like this looks pretty good. I'm just trying to think about like how I would want to make this performance in real time. On step, get step signal. Okay, so now we are going to, okay, if anyone's listening, what are some, what should we work on next? Should it just be vegetation or something? Like put some trees, or should we, how about like stoplights, like lights, you know? That might be a good direction to go. What a pretty little area. Should work on the park? Okay, okay, let's do that. Let's also, B-Man, I missed your hey earlier, so hello, hey. Um, let's see, we have so in terms of the park, let's just start out by making the sidewalk again. Um, though this becomes a little bit harder due to the nature of it. So maybe I'm torn between wanting to um, between wanting to have the park be using the materials, like the sort of like the ground materials, and wanting it to be like a sidewalk thing. Um, because obviously, you know, with the terrain, you can see it's already flickering. Like it's just like it does not like that. So maybe, so then I guess, yeah, we'll just do do this. Okay, so let's let's get the circle part done first, because I feel like that part's going to be the most difficult to get right. So where is the thing? There it is. Okay, it's the part. It's right here. All right, so this is a cool asset which I will be utilizing for the obelisk. Okay. Let me just, okay, so position. So this is the x-axis, so 72. So Z, so 156. 156. All right, so from there, all right, so position 72, 155. Let's, we might want to scale it up a little bit. Maybe? Maybe not that much. This is killing me. All right, here we go. I agree. I agree. That. In fact, yeah. Let's do that. That could save us some a bit of pain related to the to what to put here. Yeah. So let's do that. Let me get some of the where did the roof asset thing go? Here it is. Okay. Why is this multiple parts? It's not. Okay. Um, okay, so let's do 12, 12, 6. I don't know, that doesn't look good. I'm torn between wanting this to be like a see, maybe we should lift it up a little. That could look better. Look at that. Okay, so that actually looks all right. So yeah, so we're gonna make this a little fountain. It's a good idea, chill. Um, Okay, so let's I think we could scale this down a bit, you know? I think that looks a little bit more visually correct. As a bonus, I believe it allows us to connect all these pretty well. Okay, so this looks good. Let's connect it to this one. Let's see. Okay, so let's just size this to something more specific. So 5, 5, 2. That's 3. Okay, and then we're going to round off the positions. Hey, welcome back to Gaming Zone. We're working on the park, making the obelisk into a fountain. Um, okay, so I think we're going to have to make this 6 by 6. Okay, so let's try this again. Bam, bam. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Okay, we got that in. Let's see. Let's actually change the change it, make it a little bit closer to the original color. That's nice. I think that looks nice. What made me get back into game development? Oh, well, I never left. I've been making games since nonstop, basically since 20. Uh, I mean, like professionally since 2020. Amateurly from 2008. I just haven't been releasing them. And technically, until I release this one, that still hasn't changed. I have released some smaller projects, but for the most part, I'm not known for releasing stuff. But I have been using the time to get better at actually creating things, which I think is good. Um, I haven't been I have not just been like wasting my time or anything. I've just been, yeah, working on stuffs. You missed the last stream? No worries, no worries. Basically, so last stream, this is what we did. We made it so that, see all these little gray boxes? We made it so that we could generate basic things for them. You see? Yeah, so we made it, we made these little interior areas, and yeah, yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, the hmm. Oh, what made me get into it? Oh, okay, sorry. My apologies, Green Combo. What made me get into it? I liked Legos, and it was 2000, and I was 10, and Roblox was virtual Legos. And so, yeah, I just wanted to do it. It wasn't really something I tried to get into. It was just fun. I mean, I think that's how a lot of people get into it. They just find themselves enjoying the actual process of creating stuff. Um, yeah, though that being said, it's not for everyone necessarily, but I think that a lot of people really like it. Whoops. How am I supposed to, so I'm going to rescale this one slightly. If you're dying before Superhero Life 4, how do you think I feel? Since I started work on Superhero Life, I've had like two surgeries, and like, yeah, if I don't get if I don't get stuff done in time, I'm just like the guy who never finished Superhero Life 4. Yeah, the so let's see. I'm going to edit the pivot. Okay, perfect. What is this? Oh, it's the emitter. Oh, that's cool. I was wondering what I was selecting when that was popping up. Okay. So now let's change this again. So 0.6. So where'd the rig go? How much longer do you think Superhero Life 4 will take? I think that getting this game out will help Superhero Life 4 come out more than anything else, you know? Because then it's just like, because then I am just okay, come on, come on. All right, so because this game is of course the essentially the found this is essentially the foundation uh, of Superhero Life 4. Like this, the code that you are seeing written here will be used in Superhero Life 4. Like I essentially what you're looking at is making superhero the superhero. Okay, like imagine y'all know how GTA 5 looks better than GTA 4. Like visually, the engine improved. Imagine that before making GTA 6, Rockstar just recreated GTA 5 in a way that like looked better. Though, if I remember correctly, they tried to remaster GTA 3 and that didn't go very well. But imagine they did it right. Imagine that you made things look nicer. Um, yeah, so what you're looking at is basically the. Sorry, sorry. Yeah, I lose my train of thought a lot. Um, but yeah, like we are making Superhero Life 4 right now, essentially. Like what you're looking at is the same, like this little like map decoration technology right here. That is going to be like Superhero Life 4 or whatever it becomes. Like what we're doing is we're making the previous Superhero Life games with a technology which I can keep up to date, which I can improve over time, something which, so the customization, it will be the back end of the customization, the part which I'm writing, will be very different and flexible. The front end, the part you're experiencing, will be better. It will not necessarily be too different. Like, I'm not going to be making Superhero Life 4 level promises for the Superhero Life 2 remake, but you should be, all of the previous characters you made should transfer over, and it should be easier to create new ones. Yeah. No, that's a reference to the old studio name, or I guess it was just the studio name at the time. Um, all right, so now let's add. Okay, we're running water. Um, nice. Okay, yay. So that's looking all right. Well, that's the funny thing. I actually do track in the data store how many times someone has visited. There are some pretty high. numbers there. Like there are people who have visited essentially every day since it, like for like years at a time. Like it, there's a lot of people who've played it. It's I don't I admit I don't fully understand those people, but I appreciate that they exist. You know, I okay. So yeah, it's looking nice. Okay, so anchored. Okay, so now we have to. Okay, so I'm going to try to paint a thing to make it a square. You know what I don't like? The fact that it's like kind of like a messy border, you know? Like I think that that kind of takes away from it. So maybe six, five. Okay, let's just paint this and we'll worry about the other stuff later. Okay, so now, all right, so that looks kind of garbage. Um, well, it's funny you say that it reminds you of PlayStation Spider-Man because um, that's set in Manhattan and I actually lived there for a year. So if this looks like Central Park, it's because the longest time I've spent in any city was New York City, Manhattan. So yeah, that is yeah. Though the obelisk itself is because I grew up in near Indianapolis, and so I got to see. And Indianapolis has a giant obelisk in the center of it. Um, it's a memorial, I believe. I think it's for the Civil War, but honestly, that part was never super clear to me. Hey, yeah, no, I visited Brooklyn a few times. Honestly, that's the thing. I went to Brooklyn and I was immediately like, dang it, I should have moved here. I feel like it's no part's perfect, but I felt much more comfortable whenever I was in the Brooklyn, especially that little like downtown square area. Um, but who knows? The What's it for Superhero Life 2? So Superhero Life 2, I hadn't lived in any cities really yet. I'd lived in suburbs. Well, rural suburbs. My neighborhood started out surrounded by a bunch of farm fields, but it was a neighborhood. And then sort of the suburbs kind of just wrapped around it as I grew up. So on the one hand, I definitely would say that the place I live now is definitely suburban, but I don't know. It wasn't always like that, and so it's kind of just a hard, I guess, line to draw. What is the easiest way to do? Yeah, I'm just yeah, just trying to get this area looking all right. All right. Oh, you gotta go. Honestly, I actually gotta go too. Yeah, the new times are 5 to 7, but glad to see the Uncharted one continues to entertain. The okay, let's just really quick get these parts. Okay, done. All right, so now the and then okay, we're gonna be quick about this. So we're going to target. Okay, we're gonna target and then replace it with grass. We're gonna target leafy grass and we're gonna replace it with grass. Okay, so perfect. So now we're going to change this to a circle and we're going to have that target be pavement while increasing the brush size to 10. Dang it. Okay, so all right, so we're just gonna okay, we're the second we finish this stream is ending, but like beautiful. Beautiful. I want to make it a little bit bigger, honestly. 15. Okay, so now I'm just going to replace. This doesn't really feel like a circle though, does it? Is that is that a weird thing to say? Because it feels like an octagon. Okay, that's better. That looks better. Kind of. Honestly, it actually looks a little bit cleaner with the previous one. So how about gonna replace grass with regular grass? Yay! Okay, and same thing with this with replacing. So we're gonna replace ground with regular grass. Yay! All right. Good job, everybody. Um, uh, yeah, no, thank you very much. I think my graphics ability has improved over the years, so hopefully that pays off. So let me So I think that's all right. Let's see. Is there so let's change the terrain to let's change the pavement color a little bit. You know, just make it a little bit more earthy. It's a little bit better. It's but yeah. Anyway, so we have the what is it? The gaming zone? Yeah, Ohio. I will do my best. I promise. I am finishing this up. Ah, you got me, the game zone. How could you just? All right, that's it. You're banned from superhero life. No, I'm kidding. All right, you got me. Please, y'all, though, you can't just be pranking me every stream. I'm not gonna make it. Uh, let's see. Mhm. Okay, I think yeah, we can say that this is pretty much done. I think let's just quickly play at ground level, just so we can get a feel for what the city looks like. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, dang it, I forgot to do play here. Okay, so save to file, um, terrain editor, test, play here. Okay, so how does this feel when you are just a normal person? Textures loading in. Oh, wait, forgot to make the water can collide. I always do this to myself. Okay, so can collide false. Okay, play here. You should you should leave the old map just far away from the remake on East as an Easter egg. Nah. The thing is, the old map has a lot of stuff in it. I know people want to have the old map around somehow, but it's just not a. There's a reason we're remaking it. It's to not have the old map around. That'll be open source for people who miss it at some point. It's just not going to be the. Yeah, but let's see. Okay, so let's actually modify this. Map object. Oh wait, I need to do it from the server. Map object. All right, and bam. Okay, we've loaded in that. So yeah, we can just be running around here. I do like the verticality. Like I like that you can kind of see the shops over here from the park, and just like it just feels like the scaling of this map is just perfect to me. Like it is big enough that you can sort of have space for each area. Like each area feels like it has enough space to breathe. But I need to make the floors thicker. But for the most part, the actual areas themselves are still visible far away. Like I can see Syndicorp, see the news tower, the park, the docks, the factory. I can pretty much see every part of the. I can see the school. Like I can see the majority of the map from one area. It's just, I can. I can everything just feels scaled correctly. And also, here's a thing. If I was to let's see, let's rescale myself. Um, two, two, two. Oh wait, can I no longer just do it by changing it anymore? Disappointed. Oh wait, do I have to change it with this? I don't know. You used to be able to just change it by editing these values. I guess stuff has changed since then. Um, but yeah, the revamp. Uh, I think that I don't think the old version of the map should exist in the game. Like I think that this should be viewed as like a my headcanon is that this is like a simulation, almost like an archaeology bleh, an old historical thing recreation of the original city, and that over time the simulation gets better, rather than so like basically this is like the equivalent of finding out dinosaurs have feathers. Uh, and I think that as a result, there shouldn't be like an older version canonically. Like this should be kind of replace it as the reality. Um, yeah, but yeah, the revamp is not done yet. Right now, we're making this area. We've been focusing on this side of the map. Um, but yeah, I think it's coming along pretty nice though. We're going to add more and more little like cool areas over time. The yeah, yeah. So there's going to be a Captain Cool Guy fight in this city, you know, and it's probably going to be a lot more destructive because I'll be a little bit smarter when it comes to how damaging stuff works. Um, do I have any plans related to character size? Yeah, you should be able to have different sized characters, and if they can't fit into a room, they should crouch. Like yeah. Um, but the I think maximum that I'm willing to try to support is like 2x scale. Um, I'm open to the idea of having some form of progression for a character. I don't know exactly how it would work yet, but I definitely am open to that. The but yeah, no, I think yeah, we're the park's looking okay. The we're gonna continue to build out these different areas. Then probably some of the beach, but even then, it's just what else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, no, you can see like we're making progress. Like we have this area, this half the map pretty much set, and then we're just got to fill out these parts, and then we can focus on character customization. But yeah, thank y'all very much. I will talk to y'all. Let's see, is today Thursday or Friday? Then I will talk to y'all tomorrow, same time, and yeah, I think progression will be good for the game. I just want to make sure I get the role play aspect done first. I'm not against progression. I just want I don't want to overscope. I want to get the game as it is now done, and then we can talk about progression stuff. Cape physics, basic cape animation. I don't know if we're going to do a full physics simulation, but the capes won't just be static anymore. Um, and yeah, I think yeah, that's about it. See y'all next time. It's been a pleasure. All right. Bye.